my beautiful babies. Today I'm filming a video that quite a bit of you guys have asked me for, and it's really interesting because there's so many like highlighting and contouring videos, but they're from like a little bit ago when like kind of highlighting and contouring made like it's like big craze. It was like when Kim Kardashian released that picture that everyone was kind of like, what's that? Every single person has a completely different style of highlighting and contouring. Also, everybody has different face shapes. So please do keep in mind that this is the way I define and sculpt my face. And just whenever you do your own routine, just, you know, be aware of your features and what stands out, what you want to like push back a little bit, what you want to like bring more to the front and all that stuff. But what I'm doing today, what I'm gonna show you, is just very general. I do a very general style of highlighting and contouring. So it's nothing too crazy. I'm gonna really break it down for you guys. Down below in the description box, I'm going to list everything that you're gonna need. So if you want, you can pause the video, go down there, and you can check out everything that you may need before we go ahead and get started. Before we go and jump into the tutorial, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Also hit the little bell so you can be notified whenever my ass uploads a video. So let's jump right into the tutorial. I basically just kind of picked up my hair really quickly in a bun to kind of get it out of my face so you guys can I'm like, I can't talk today. So you guys can really see like my facial features and where I place everything and all that. Also, I have just mascara on and I just drew like a little wing with brown eyeshadow. I have my brows on and I do have foundation on. So I am moisturized, primed, and I have foundation on. So the first thing I like to do is grab my contour stick. The one I use is one of the Anastasia Beverly Hills stick foundations in the color Fawn. Believe they have two contour shades and this is the lighter one. This one has a very cool undertone. I personally really like that because it creates a shadow, and shadows are naturally gray. So that's kind of just what I want to put out there. Gray contour shadows may not work for everybody. I know depending on your complexion, you may like to go for warmer colors, and that's perfectly fine. You can use bronzers. Sounds like a dinosaur. You can use bronzers. You can use bronzers to contour, or you can use actual contour shades and shadows and all that stuff to contour, obviously. But it doesn't matter. This is makeup. You do whatever it is that you want. So the first thing you want to do is kind of feel around to see where the hollows of your cheekbone are. You can see, like if I smile, you can see right there, that's where mine is. I know not everybody's is visible, but you can go ahead and just feel where it is and draw your line against that. Everybody's, or generally everybody's, comes right here from where the ear is, and you kind of bring it all the way down, and you're gonna stop that line right where the eye begins. So I like to start my line right here within where my hair is, and just draw it just like that. And this is the only two places where I like to put this cool toned contour stick, because I personally feel like on my skin tone, if I go and put it on my forehead, sides of my nose, on all these areas, I start looking a little muddy, but that's just me. I know on much lighter and fairer skin tones, a very cool toned contour stick looks beautiful and really mimics that like shadow situation we're going for, like a hair. So I'm gonna just grab a damp beauty sponge. This is the Real Techniques beauty sponge, which I absolutely adore. I just basically put it under the sink. I gave it a couple of squeezes, put it into my towel so it can get off any excess water, and we're good to go. I'm just gonna go and blend that out, maintaining it in that same area. Any concealer that is about like 2, maybe 3 shades lighter than your skin shade would be perfect for really brightening the under eye. And you don't want to only brighten the under eye because you want everything to look evenly distributed. And you don't want to highlight only the under eye and not other places. You want the center of your face to be the brighter area, and then the outside to be more chiseled and sculpted. So now what I do is I put some here. I concentrate more of the product in the inner part of my eye, because I tend to get a little bit of like shadow creates there because I do have pretty hollow under eyes. I've had them since I was little. I kind of have like a line right there, and then I kind of just draw some lines just like that. You want to highlight the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, and or the tip of the nose, the cupid's bow, and the chin. Now, what I like to do, and I especially like to do this with my more runny, liquidy concealers, is I like to let it sit for a little bit and just let it dry just a little bit, because once I go and blend it out, I feel like it gives me a more full coverage matte look, and I really, really like that. And I don't know, I personally just like doing that. I don't know, it's just like a little tip trick. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, you don't have to do that. But not all concealers or cream highlighters or anything like that, you shouldn't do that with all of them. Do that only with your more like runny concealers, like the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind is a little runny. The Maybelline Fit Me is a little runny. So that's just the kind of concept I'm talking about. I feel like the Tarte Shape Tape is a little thick. So if you do wait, I wouldn't wait too long. So while the areas that we highlighted are drying just a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and really warm up and start sculpting out the face. I love to use this shade specifically. This is the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Medium Bisque. It isn't too dark, but it is very warm, and it really just starts adding that warmthness. Is that a word? Yeah, warmthness to my face. This is the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and then this is the contour stick that I use to create the shadows on my cheekbones. This is a whole messy situation, just don't even look at that. But these are the two colors. So what I do is I put a little bit on my hand, because sometimes this spews out way too much product, and we don't want to get like super orange, because if you use too much, you can look a little orangey and So I basically put some right there, along the forehead. I bring it down just a little bit here on the sides where the top of the temples are. And then what I do is I put it right where I sculpted my cheekbones, but a smidge higher. I don't know why, I personally love that whole finish, and I just feel like it adds a very nice bronzy touch, so that's what I do. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add some here under my chin. This area specifically, like sculpting out the jawline and under the chin, I can go ahead and use the contour stick. So if you feel comfortable, ooh, I'm itchy. If you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and use that too. But since I'm already here, I'll just use this same shade because it honestly still looks good. I use both interchangeably. So now that's been drying there for, I don't know, I wanna say maybe like 2 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and blend it out with this part of our sponge. I like using this part for like the bronzing, the contouring, the foundation, but these parts of the beauty sponge that are a little more pointy, I like using for under the eye, because I feel like you can really get in there and blend it out very close to your lash line. You don't want to have like any like space. So I'm gonna just start pouncing it in that area, maintaining it there, not bringing it down too low. I don't want my face to elongate. I want to kind of keep it up right there. Now we're gonna blend out that bronzer. I don't know why I call it a bronzer. I guess just because it's a warmer shade. All right, my beautiful babies, now that is all blended out, I know a lot of people like to just leave it here. Usually people with dry skin tend to be able to just kind of leave cream contour and highlights and they're good to go. I don't know, but I got dry skin, but I got trust issues, and now the next step is we are gonna set our under eyes, and we're gonna set all the areas that we have highlighted. I personally love using the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. I think it is super bomb, and I like setting it with a beauty sponge. After you make sure that all the creases have been blended out again, so that you know you don't have any extra lines that you don't need under your eye, you just grab a little bit of the powder and just go pressing it in. I personally love using the beauty sponge to set the under eye because I feel like it just, I don't know, it just melts right into the skin. And it just really sets everything well. Grab a little bit of that powder and put it in all the areas that we have highlighted, and also any areas that you feel need extra setting. I know if you have oily skin, the T-zone area tends to be an area that gives you guys a lot of problems, so go ahead and set that. I personally like to really set my nose area because makeup tends to really break up there, because I'm always touching my nose for some reason. I know others, their smile lines, they get very creasy there, maybe around the nose. So all of the areas that you normally would set, this is the perfect time to go ahead and do that. So all the areas that I have kind of powder just sitting there, I grabbed just a little bit of powder right from the top, and I really like this brush. This is the Morphe G40. It's really small and it's really nice for just precisely sweeping away powder in areas that you want. So I grabbed just a little bit of that powder and I just start sweeping it away. The areas of the face that we have sculpted, I personally love using a very neutral, I can't talk today, a very neutral bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I absolutely adore this bronzer. This has to be my favorite. And I think my second favorite is like the MAC Give Me Sun, but that's like much warmer. But for this, for contouring, I love this one. This is, for my skin shade, it is very, very neutral. It is so good. So what I do is I grab this brush. I love this one, the M403. This is the brush I like to use for contouring. And I'm just going to grab some of that, tap off the excess, and then just start right here where we put all that contour and just start stamping it in. We are stopping right where the eye begins. And just stamping it in so that we can set that all, and stamping it in along the hairline where the temple is and the forehead. I like to just go very, very light-handedly. I'm just making up all types of words. I like to go with a very light hand and just swirl the brush and really mix that in. I like to even go a little bit up into my cheeks and just really, really, really blend that in. I want that to all look seamless. I don't want it to be harsh. Just really make the face look bronzed and warm and sculpted. And then I'm also gonna set what we put down here to kind of add a little more definition to the chin and the jawline. Now, some of you guys are probably wondering like, and the nose, darling? I personally do not like nose contours. On other people, I think they look beautiful. On me, I like my nose shape. And it's not saying that people that contour their nose don't necessarily like their nose shape. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I just like the natural shadow of my nose. I don't really nose contour. What I do sometimes is after I'm done, I kind of go like this with the brush. So there's a really, really, really light amount of product. And I just go along the sides of the nose and under. That's really it. And then I like to grab a small blending brush and go into this color and just put a little bit here under the lip. It gives the illusion of like a heavier bottom lip. If you have a nose that kind of like droops down, kind of like right here, kind of goes down a little bit, you can grab some of this and go right here under that like little thing. I don't know what you call this right here, the septum, right? Septum. And just kind of go like that. And then put a little bit of contour right there. I feel like it kind of like lifts up the nose a bit. If you have a bit of a wider nose, you might want to contour just a little bit right here on the nostrils. But that is something, like I personally, I just don't like contouring the nose too much. I don't like really heavy nose contours. I feel like it wouldn't match my face. Like I feel like my features are already like bigger, and to have just like a little nose, like I would look so strange. Then after, what I like to do is go into this banana shade right here in the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. You can also use the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. That one has a really good banana shade too. The Ben Nye banana powder is a good one. The Maybelline, this one, the Fair and Light, has like a banana tinge to it. You can really use anything that has like a banana tone, but this is personally my favorite, and the Anastasia one. And I kind of just pack it on this brush. This is the Morphe E48. I have used this brush many times before. This is my favorite brush for under the eye, and also the e.l.f. small tapered brush. That brush was like $2 and it is bomb. And I just pack it on lightly under the eye, wherever it is that I had put that setting powder. And then before we set everything, of course, we are gonna add some highlighter. I'm gonna go in to Champagne Pop. What is this one? Champagne, I'm like, Champagne Pop? This Prosecco Pop. I'm gonna go into Champagne Pop. It has a more of a peachy undertone. And I'm just gonna highlight right here, the tops of the cheekbones. And that's really gonna add that extra pop to really make the cheekbones look higher at the top and then more hollow at the bottom. I love adding highlight because when you add highlight is when it really like kind of just everything comes together. And then I'm gonna add a little bit on the tip of the nose. I feel like that's really gonna, you know, emphasize a little more of a nose. I'm gonna add some on the Cupid's bow, just a little bit on the chin. And I personally like highlight right here above the eyebrows. If you tend to get oily up there, you may wanna skip that part. I know a lot of you may not feel comfortable having that part highlighted. I know some people like putting highlight right here in the center. I just personally like concentrating it right there. And then we are gonna set everything. I like to use the Oil Control Makeup Setting Spray from Urban Decay. Urban Decay has amazing setting sprays. If you wanna kinda invest in that, you can go ahead and do that. If not, NYX has two great setting sprays, the Dewy Setting Spray and the Matte Setting Spray. Milani also has an amazing setting spray. They have the Make It Last and then the Make It Dewy. I will list all of those down below. And Maybelline has a good one too. I don't remember exactly the name. I know it's the black bottle and it has like a pink strip around. I will put that down below as well. Alrighty, so the lipstick is on. We are now officially done. I really hope that you guys learned something from this tutorial and that you enjoyed it. So now you can go out and sculpt your beautiful faces. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.